Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Peak Bucker Designs, and I have a fun little gingerbread treat for you. This little treat box, you can really do a lot of different things with it. I'm going to show you what I put in here. I have the Little Debbie gingerbread cookies along with a Via Starbucks hot cocoa mix thing, and then because I like to make boozy treats, I found these at the liquor store. They're just, I don't know, some off-brand peppermint proof. These are for your adult friends, obviously. So if you didn't want to make it a boozy gift, take that out and maybe put a little bag of mini marshmallows in there. You could also add another gingerbread cookie. He fits nicely in there 2 times. Let me pull over the box to show you. These are the Little Debbie gingerbread soft cookies. And you guys, if you're looking for these in your area, Little Debbie has a snack finder that you can enter your zip code and it'll tell you exactly where to find them in your area. But I'm making them for friends, so we're just going to stick with the fun little boozy treat. And I'm going to show you how to make this box with this really cute curved lid or curved back, as well as show you how I colored this adorable gingerbread man house. Now, the stamps that I'm using is called Yummy Christmas. It is in the 2019 Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. But it also coordinates with these dies. Now, these dies actually happen to be in the annual catalog. They're right here on page 192. They're called the Cuckoo Clock dies, and that's because you can get another stamp set to go with the dies. So really, you can really get a lot of bang for your buck. If you like these dies, you can have kind of a year-round stamp set and then a Christmas stamp set to go with it, and they all can be cut out with these wonderful dies. So just another way to get more bang for your buck. These come as a bundle. You save 10%. But if you just want these and these, there isn't a bundle price for that, but you can still order them separately. Okay, well, let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is stamp and color my gingerbread house. Now, this, I'm going to tell you, it's not for the faint at heart. There is quite a bit of coloring here, but if you're like me and you love to color with your Stampin' Blends, this is a great set for you. Now, we're going to stamp the house in Memento, and then I'm going to color it with my Stampin' Blends. Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers from Stampin' Up! And let me tell you the colors I'm using. Cherry Cobbler, Call Me Clover, Light and Dark Crumb Cake. Light and dark of all 3 of those. Then I'm going to use Light Night of Navy and Dark Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start coloring in a minute, and I'm going to speed up the video so you can watch, but it won't take you as long to watch as it took me to color. But I wanted you to know what colors I was using. Okay, so let me pull out my stamp. I'm using my Stamparatus. This is a big stamp, and sometimes with bigger stamps, it's harder to get a good, clean, crisp image. So I'm just going to put it on here, and if that happens, then I can just stamp it again where it sits. All right, so I'm going to pick it up on that plate. And I'm going to get my Memento Black. This is a water-based ink. You want to use Memento Black when you're using your Stampin' Blends. All right, so let me ink that up nicely and pop that down over here. Make sure we've got nice full coverage. And see right there, it did not. So I can lay it back down and push on it and get it nice and crisp wherever it didn't touch. You can't do that if you're stamping with a block. You have to start over. But with the Stamparatus, it keeps the paper right where it's supposed to be, so you can stamp numerous times in the same spot if you miss some of that image. Now I'm also going to stamp the little tree, and I'm just going to do that one time over here. All right. Now before I cut it out, I'm going to start the coloring.
Hey, if you want to play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind. You'll find inspiration. All I'm saying is you can do it. I want to hear you say I am independent. I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I
Now, I have gone over the entire house in light crumb cake. I'm going to take the dark crumb cake marker and I'm just going to kind of outline wherever there would be a shadow. So any place that there is something overlapping, which is pretty much everything on here, I'm going to take the dark, I'm going to do a line around it, and then I'm going to take my light and just blend it into the light that's already there. All right, so around the windows, down the candy cane, behind the candy drops, and blend it all in. Now, you might want to work in smaller spaces. Now, I did the whole thing, which gives it probably enough time to dry so that it's not going to blend as well as if you just worked in small sections. So work in smaller sections before you color the whole thing in. Maybe color half and stop and add your shading. And I'm just going to continue to add little shadow shading marks behind and around everything. Now, my little gingerbread guy, I'm going to leave him especially light so he stands out and is a little bit different from the color of the house, which is going to be pretty dark once we get all of the shading done. And I also see that I forgot to color in one of my windows. You'll see there's quite a bit of icing on here as well. So you're going to want to leave that white. And I prefer to use my bullet tip end of the marker because I feel like I have a little bit better control of it, especially when I'm going around tight spaces, just like I did there. All right. Now the roof we can leave pretty light if you want. You can also check out, I'm going to have another video for you that shows how you can add the snow to the roof and the icing parts using our puff paint snow that is heat activated. It's really cool. I actually am going to have 2 other videos using this Yummy Christmas. One, I'm going to show you how to stamp this on crumb cake, so you have to do less coloring. And one, I'm going to show you where you don't have to color it at all. So make sure you check those out on my YouTube channel. All right, one last thing here. We've got the door. So let's put some shading on that door, and then I will go back and add the Daffodil Delight there in the window. And I'm going to give this a whole blending of color. My crumb cake light seems to be on its last leg. I use this color a bunch. There we go. I also want to color in these little stones dark. I'm going to make those dark crumb cake like that. All right. Put those lids back. I'm going to grab that daffodil and then we will cut it all out. You might have noticed I didn't do any shading on the tree. Just did the dark. Did I do the dark or did I do the light of the, I think I did the dark. Let's see. The dark Call Me Clover on the tree because there's just not enough room there for you to really do any shading. The little white trim there gives some good contrast. Whoops. Knocked the camera. Don't you love when that happens? Okay, now let's get those dies. These dies are really cool because over on the cuckoo clock, one, it cuts out the reindeer, and over when you're using it with Yummy Christmas, it cuts out the holly berries and the leaves. There are several dies like that on there where they cut out one thing over there and another thing with this stamp set. So that's a lot of fun. Whoops, I'm talking too much. It didn't cut out the tree, you guys. Let's see, run that through real quick, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this box. If you love to color, I recommend you stamp a bunch of these and you sit down in front of a Christmas movie and just color away. And in no time, you will have lots of gingerbread houses so that you can give these as treats. Okay, let's look at the box. Now, the measurements for all of this can be found over on my blog, pinkbuckaroo.com. This was originally a Facebook Friday project that I did. And all 3 projects are there. You can scroll down and find the PDF that will have all of the measurements. Now this is a piece of crumb cake that measures 4.5 by 11. I'm going to score the long side at 3.5, at 5, at 8.5, and 10, and the short side at 3. All right, let's put this simply scored away. All right, you want to burnish all your lines, get them nice and crisp, and a bone folder will help you do that. I'm just using my hands. Now we're going to cut out this one corner right here, okay? We're going to cut that one out. Then we're going to cut along the long side, closest to that horizontal score line. Okay? Now, you want to use a really strong adhesive like Tear & Tape or even Tombow liquid. I'm using Fast Fuse, which I have a little bit left. It's sold out. It's retired. See how I put adhesive on that one skinny tab and folded it over, and you've got your box. Now we're going to fold in these. And I want my rounded edges to be on the front. See here where we have a seam like this? I want that to be the back. So turn to the front, and that's the last tab you're going to fold in. I fold in my sides, and then I'll put adhesive here and fold that, and there's our box bottom. Okay, now for the top part, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I have used the edge die from the Magnolia Lane dies in the annual catalog. All right, you're going to need a piece of crumb cake that is 3.5 by 6. And we're going to cut this one edge like this, so we'll get that nice curl, kind of a curly Q. Almost looks like maybe a fancy headboard. And we're going to run that through there. Let me make sure I have it straight. It's hard to tell from this angle. All right, so run that through. And then let's see what it looks like. Very nice. Then you're going to get a piece of designer series paper that is 3.25 by 4. And we're going to cut it so that it matches, okay? We're going to cut this edge right here so that it matches. So lay that down and put your die there. Center it and run it through. And voila, we have a beautiful scalloped topper for our box. And let's put that on. This is the awesome plaid Christmas paper, perfectly plaid suite of products that is just adorable. You can find this in the holiday catalog, but of course you can use any Christmas paper that you want. Now I'm going to slide that down, and it's going to sit down there in the box like that, okay? Now, let's see, I want to make sure that I don't have it crooked. Looks like I may have it a little bit crooked. We got to fix it. There we go. Okay, now here's another piece of designer series paper that is from, I'm using the same pattern for both, and this one is 3.25 by 2 3/4. I'm going to put that on the front. I've got a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock that is 1.5 by 3.5. Let's put that right there in the middle. And now let's get our house and our tree, and of course we want to put these on with dimensionals. So I will put 2 dimensionals there and put my house right there. Let's see, I'm going to do it down a little bit. And my tree can go right there on the side. Now, of course, if you're really feeling fancy, you can stamp some of the gumdrops. You can add those. You could do the little peppermints and decorate it. But if you have to make a bunch of them, I have a feeling you're not going to want to do that many. But you could. All right, last but not least, let's make this cute little tag that we have here. Now, I don't have another one of these to stick down in, but let's go ahead and put our cookies. I do have plenty of our gingerbread cookies. Aren't they cute? How adorable. Now I have already cut out a little stitched label from the stitched label dies, and I'm going to stamp. This is a really neat stamp. It kind of leaves an open space in the middle, so you can stamp in 2 different colors. This one says Wishing you a Christmas. So we'll stamp that one first, like that. And then this one says yummy. It's wishing you a yummy Christmas. Okay, now let's get all of that out of the way. And all you're going to do from here is clip this on to your hot cocoa that's sticking up in the back. I'm just using one of our clips from our tags kit. You could use a little clothespin. You could use a binder clip. And this is a piece of the Nature's Twine. It used to be called Nature's Poem. Nature's Twine comes in 4 colors. And I'm going to stick that right there. And done. How fun. And look how different they look with the 2 different colors of designer series paper. Really a fun project that I think you'll enjoy, especially if you like to color. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me today, and make sure you hop back over to my blog. The link is here in the comments for the full details, the measurements, everything is there for you. And let me know if you have questions. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.